Women are confused why men don't approach them anymore.
Women have told men to leave them alone. Modern women are going on TikTok to whine about men not approaching them.
Ladies, this one's gonna sting, but most of the time it is not men ruining relationships. It is women.
Why are more men refusing to approach women in 2026? And what happens when the traditional dating dynamic stops working? Is it fear of rejection, dating fatigue, changing expectations, or something deeper? As more men step away from the approach game, women are increasingly asking why the attention they once expected isn't coming.
Ladies, this one's gonna sting, but most of the time it is not men ruining relationships. It is women sabotaging themselves. But first, let me explain. First is the victim mindset. If every argument turns into poor me, look what you did to me, you're not resolving the conflict, you're dodging accountability. Second, attention addiction. If you need outside validation, likes, stares, DMs to feel secure, you'll never be happy with the man that you're with. Third, lack of self-worth. If you drag your unhealed trauma into a relationship but refuse to face it and deal with it, you're making your partner pay for damage that they did not cause. These aren't just little habits, they are relationship killers. They destroy trust, create resentment, and eventually push away the man or woman you claim to love. And the hard truth, a lot of women would rather blame men than admit that they're guilty of these patterns. So before you say men are the problem, ask yourself, am I sabotaging my own relationship? Try to ask yourself that. If you're brave enough to admit that, you will change everything. If not, you're gonna repeat the same cycle. Drop your take in the comments. I know this one is gonna get a little heated.
The usual framing treats men's hesitation as insecurity or lack of confidence. But that ignores the factors influencing modern approaches: rejection, public embarrassment, workplace boundaries, social media scrutiny, and uncertainty about whether an approach will even be welcomed. The calculation has changed. The risk can feel higher while the reward feels less certain.
Women are confused why men don't approach them anymore, but they're the ones who train men to stop. I keep seeing these videos of women crying about how men don't pursue them or chase them like they used to. And honestly, we need to look at what we did to create this, because who would have thought that our actions have consequences? First of all, we set impossible standards. You want a man who's 6'2", making 6 figures, looks like a model, but what are you bringing to match that energy? Second of all, we made viral content out of humiliating men for trying. Every time a guy shoots his shot, there's a TikTok making fun of him. We literally trained them that approaching us equals public embarrassment. And here's the biggest one. Too many women nowadays are operating in masculine energy. Thank you, feminism. That we've become completely unapproachable. You're closed off, you're not receptive, and you're giving off don't even try vibes, then wondering why nobody tries. We taught men that approaching women is harassment, then act confused when they stopped approaching us. You can't train someone to leave you alone and then be mad when they actually do. If you want to be pursued, start being pursuable and stop shaming men for doing so.
Approaching someone requires reading the situation correctly. A man has to decide whether she's interested, whether the setting is appropriate, and whether his approach will be appreciated. When getting that judgment wrong feels costly, some men simply decide not to take the chance. Avoidance isn't always fear. Sometimes it's risk management.
Is there anyone else out there in their 40s like me who feels kind of invisible? Like, I'm not as cute as I was in my 20s and 30s. I'm definitely not as fit as I was in my 20s and 30s. I don't have as much hair as I used to have. It's literally falling off like the top of my head. Oh! Ah! It's falling off the top of my head. I just spit everywhere. Not as graceful as I used to be. And like the hair that is growing back in, it's gray, which is fine. I'm good with going gray. I've had this gray streak in my hair for a really long time and I've just been rocking it. But like, I don't have any more eyebrows. I don't have any more eyelashes. I just don't feel pretty anymore. Who else is out there who feels this way? Because it can't just be me. But also I feel like there needs to be this whole revolution of women like us on social media to prove to everyone that we're still here and we're still valid and we're still relevant.
Dating apps created another shift. Messaging replaced walking up to strangers. Men became accustomed to systems where interest is communicated before the first interaction. Walking up to someone can feel unnecessary when another option already exists.
Where are the real men, guys? Like the men who buy flowers, the men who can build shit, the men who want to pay for shit, the men who give you unconditional love and spoil you. Do these men exist? I'm gonna manifest one.
I'm gonna make it.
If
I'm
all
okay
men
with that.
were to disappear, the immediate catastrophe that would be.
For who?
Immediate catastrophe. I don't think...
How?
Okay, so water, sewage, electricity, gas, fuel, refinement, telecommunications, IT infrastructure, road maintenance, delivery drivers, police, fire rescue.
How about other things like fracking, electrical maintenance, nuclear engineering, like the list goes on and on and on.
Critical infrastructure, if all men disappeared, would fail within hours. The telecom network, loss of power would be, because there's nobody maintaining it.
I guess I just don't care about technology enough to care if the power goes out.
What about your OnlyFans, of any population?
That's true.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Social expectations have also changed. Men have repeatedly been told to respect boundaries, avoid unwanted attention, and give women space. Those expectations are reasonable. But when the line between normal flirting and inappropriate behavior feels unclear, some men choose the safest response: don't approach at all.
Because men want younger women. If a man is 40, there is no way he is looking for a 40-year-old.
Right.
There's no way.
But at 40, do women even want to go with a 40-year-old man? The 40-year-old women want to go with a 50-year-old man, do they not?
I'd say most of my friends who've got divorced and who've kind of had relationships, it's either they've tried very hard to have a relationship and they're all very attractive. They're just older.
Right.
They're just in their 50s, the 40s, whatever. They're just not in their 30s. They've tried to have relationships with men of their age. Kind of hard. Yeah, can they have sex with her? Yeah, absolutely no problem.
And that's where the real shift begins. A man who stops approaching isn't necessarily saying he doesn't find women attractive. He may simply decide that attraction isn't enough to justify the uncertainty. He can find someone attractive and still keep walking. The explanation is simple: desire doesn't automatically create action. A man can want companionship while deciding that the modern approach game isn't worth the rejection, embarrassment, or confusion.
Let's be real, y'all. Men have one of the most, the manosphere is one of the most powerful voices on the internet today. Okay, we are hearing what they're saying. They are being very clear about what they like and what they dislike. And I think a lot of women take issue with that because we are not meeting the preferences that they say they want. We are not meeting the standard. If I was meeting the standard, I wouldn't have an issue with your standard because I meet it. But I have issue or take issue with your standard when I don't meet it, when I'm not the preference, when I don't feel like I'm desirable. That's what it boils down to, is the fact that we want to be desirable, and when we don't feel like we're desirable and we feel like we're being rejected by what they're saying their preferences are, we're coming at, we're aggressive, we're, poking holes and diminishing what they're saying, discrediting them. But that's their preference, and they're entitled to their preferences.
That doesn't mean every man is avoiding women. Plenty still approach, flirt, date, and form relationships. The point is that approaching is no longer treated as an automatic responsibility by every man. Rejection also changes behavior. After enough unsuccessful attempts, a man may stop seeing rejection as a challenge and start seeing it as information. If the process repeatedly creates frustration, why continue?
For over 40 years, women have told men to leave them alone. Don't approach me, you creep, they would all say. And it turns out if you keep telling men to stay away from you, they will. Modern women are going on TikTok to whine about men not approaching them. Back in the day, it was simple. A guy saw a pretty woman, walked up to her and said hi. Of course, women called that predatory and patriarchy, and now everything's messed up. Men not approaching women anymore.
And once a man becomes comfortable without approaching, the cycle reinforces itself. He focuses on work, friends, fitness, hobbies, and his own routine. Eventually, approaching women becomes something he could do rather than something he needs to do. That changes the dating market.
This woman is getting roasted alive online for posting this. It's impossible for women after 40 to find a boyfriend. I have no children, I cook delicious food and have a big house. Am I really that bad? This tag says, who is going to tell her? Tell her what? Well, in the comment section, it's all anti-feminism. Feminism brought women to where they are, where they're not married by 40. Feminism makes women less desirable to working men. You know, just the normal anti-feminist rhetoric. All throughout the comment section. There's nobody even defending the woman. Nobody. But that's social media. So I'm going to ask you, if you were single and 30 to 50, would you date this woman? I'm 38. I've been married for 16 years. So obviously I can't even put my answer out there. I mean, she looks good. I don't know anything about her personality or what she does for work. And I mean, she doesn't have any kids. She can cook. She has a big house. These are all wins in my book. I mean, as long as we can watch anime together, I'm good. But what do you guys think about the situation? Let me know in the comments. Like, share, and follow. This is your Bald News Backup.
Women accustomed to men making the first move may suddenly experience fewer approaches. Not necessarily because men have stopped being attracted to women, but because they are becoming more selective about where they invest their attention. Every interaction can become a calculation. Is she interested? Is this worth the risk? Is this the right environment? What happens if she says no? When the answer isn't obvious, walking away becomes easier.
Why is it so important to a woman that a man provides for her even when he knows she can take care of herself financially? Because providership equals romance to women. And this is why women are getting very resentful of the men that they're with, especially if the women also work and have children with these men. And the men are no longer willing to step up and be providers. Because if you are not adding value to her life, you are taking value away and you become one of her dependents. She starts to see you as a child. So many women talk about this on TikTok, that they start to see their men as child, that their husband basically becomes a dependent, like another one of their kids, because he's not adding value to her life. They get resentful, eventually they get divorced.
Social media adds another layer. Interactions can now be recorded, shared, and judged instantly. That doesn't mean every approach is inappropriate, but the perception of being publicly scrutinized can make spontaneous interaction less appealing.
I went out in the wild tonight, and what I'm learning is guys, they don't come up to you anymore. Like, guys no longer approach you.
Men don't really approach women in the wild anymore. This is something that is very common. We all know this at this point. Dating apps, shout out. I posted a video about how guys don't really come up to girls anymore in bars. And did dating become men versus women? Like, I thought it was supposed to be fun.
Men are really making it easy for women to be okay to die alone. Like, literally.
And it's really fascinating and it's like really worrying to me.
What happened to men being able to hold a fucking conversation or just approach you properly?
The traditional expectation was simple: men approach and women decide. But if men increasingly choose not to approach, women also have to decide whether they are willing to initiate. That removes the old script.
Why are so many women in their 40s divorced or thinking about divorce? Imagine this. She's been running the household, managing the kids' schedules, excelling at her career, and still picking up her husband's slack. And now she's wondering, what's the point of this partnership if I'm doing it all by myself? Here's what happens. High-achieving women hit a breaking point. They're exhausted. They've tried motivating their husbands. Can you please help me with the kids? Or can you take on more at home? But nothing changes. And resentment, oh, it grows like wildfire. She starts thinking, I'm already the breadwinner. I'm already handling everything. What am I getting out of this marriage? And that realization is like a tidal wave crashing into everything she thought she wanted. It's not impossible to save the marriage. It's just incredibly difficult when one partner refuses to grow. And the longer she waits, the more she feels like she's losing herself. So if you're feeling this way, ask yourself, are you sacrificing yourself to keep the peace, or are you ready to reclaim your life? Because staying isn't the default answer. Choosing you, that's where the power lies.
It can also create something healthier. Instead of one side always pursuing and the other evaluating, both people can show interest, communicate, and take responsibility for creating the connection they want.
A lot of these women are never satisfied, and you wonder why men don't want to get married. You wonder why men are hesitant on long-term relationships. You wonder why men are taking a step back on putting themselves in certain predicaments. It's because of women like this. These are the same women who just wake up one day and want to graduate from their marriage. They come to the conversation, oh, I want a man that's a provider. I want a man who pays all the bills. I want to make sure I can be a stay-at-home wife and a stay-at-home mother. This man has provided you all those things, and you still have a problem. And this is why I always say to these women who exude this ungrateful behavior that, girl, you better be careful, because if he have any kind of female co-workers at one of them jobs, they will be glad to trade positions with you.
So why are more men refusing to approach women in 2026? The answer may be that many men aren't losing interest in women. They are becoming less willing to accept uncertainty, repeated rejection, and unclear expectations as the price of dating. That doesn't mean approaching is dead. It means the expectation that men should always make the first move may be weakening.
I am convinced that these men just don't like women. They just don't like us. Not saying that they like men, but they just don't like us. Every time we point out like where a man is lacking, right? So it's like, oh, we want men to be more romantic and give us flowers. Their comeback will be like, why am I getting a girl flowers? They're going to die anyway. Okay, you don't like us. I saw a meme yesterday, and it was a man like, when you're having a bad day and she sends you a selfie and your day gets worse. Huh? Y'all really hate us. We say like, oh, I love a man that opens the door for me. Why would I open a woman's door? She got two hands. She could open her own door. You hate us. Oh, we love like the girlfriend proposals, and we love the decorated hotel room. Why would I be decorating? Yo, just say you don't like us. Just say you don't like us. That's it. And we'll just move on. We'll just move on. Y'all can stop pretending that y'all actually like us. We get it. Y'all don't like us. It's cool. We're going to find somebody that does like us. And then we find the people that like us. Y'all be mad. It's no winning. It's no winning.
The real question is whether modern dating will adapt. Will women start approaching more? Will men become even more selective? Or will both sides retreat further into apps and online interaction? Because if fewer men are willing to walk across the room and make the first move, the future of dating may come down to one simple question. Who is willing to take the first step?
Men stopped playing by the rules, and now everyone's freaking out. Let's break down why silence has become the loudest move.